Larken Rose here. This is going to be a short, weird video. Not really about philosophy. Not at all about philosophy. It's sort of a personal thing. It's sort of an apology. I wanted to say something publicly, but I didn't. I don't have any other place to say it other than here to hopefully reach a bunch of people. When I first was falling off the political spectrum 27 years ago, I knew almost nobody, or basically nobody, who agreed with me. And then over the years, more and more people that I knew personally, I'm not at all saying I'm the first one to know this, and then I taught everybody else. I just didn't know anybody in real life who thought these things. People have thought these things going back hundreds of years. But then along the way, I met more and more people who some had believed it for a very long time, some were very new to the ideas, and then I started to go to events, and I started to give talks and write articles and so on and so forth. And so I'm just me, and I'm, doing other jobs to pay bills and stuff. And along the way, I start to meet a bunch of cool people. And more, I meet cool people, and I think, oh, that's neat. I want to, keep up with them. And for a number of years, I sort of can, because the number of them is fairly finite. And now it's to the point that I constantly, and I mean constantly, feel bad about not being able to keep up with all the cool people that I want to keep in touch with. Because I wake up and there's 24 hours in a day, and then another day happens, and I have to do stuff to make money. So there's so many, and there's a bunch of people I think of in particular. I'm not going to try to list names. The Anarchapulco before last, I gave a little candles in the dark, and then I was sitting on the grass behind the little hexagonal or octagonal or whatever it was building where I did that, and chatted with 2 or 3 people about the plans of building on land and stuff, and making a little hangout for anarchists and stuff. And so there was a young guy and a woman there, and I was talking to them. I don't think they knew each other, but that was cool. And then I've talked to a number of other people that year, and then just this recent one, I talked to a whole bunch of people while I was sitting in my office, pile of gravel between some bushes, and talked to a whole bunch of people and got the contact info for some of them. And this happens at literally every event I go to. I have some cool little chats with people, and I think it would be cool to keep up with them. This even includes a bunch of people that I know pretty dang well, and people I've known for years, and I still do a really crappy job of keeping up with people. But at some point, it's stupid for me to feel bad about it, because it's literally just a limitation of time. At this point, I know at least 100 really cool people. Not just I've met people who I thought were pretty cool, but 100 people that if I had enough time in the world, I would like to keep up with them and keep in touch with them and talk to them about this, that, and the other thing. And I just can't, and that doesn't stop me from feeling bad about it. And as the number of people that I know and and have stuff in common and have interesting conversations with, as that's grown over time to a point that's completely unmanageable, I don't ever want to sort of detach and be the hoity-toity celebrity. I mean, my audience is this big compared to a real celebrity. But I don't want to just cut off and go, no, I'm going to hide somewhere and not talk to anybody. I mean, I do that anyway because I'm a social introvert freak. But I don't know a nice way to tell people this is really cool and you're a cool person and I hope to talk to you a whole bunch in the future, and I almost certainly won't. And it sucks, and I feel bad about it, and I wish I could. And I freaking can't. And it applies to a whole range of people, including people that I got pretty dang close with, and we know each other really well, and we have fun conversations and stuff. And I'm constantly thinking, oh, dang it, I want to get together with them and talk with them and spend more time with them, all the way down to people that I met once or twice, and it was cool, and I wanted to follow up with them. And I just stinking can't. And it's frustrating, and it's weird because I didn't... This is not something I would have predicted when I was like antisocial hermit in high school that, yeah, someday you'll have way too many people that you want to talk to and can't nearly keep up with it. Well, that's the case now. And it applies to all sorts of things. And somebody will like post a comment somewhere or send me a letter. Like if somebody sends me a few bucks in a little letter, I'm like, oh, I really want to write back to them. Because like that was cool. Whether it's like I didn't even know them before, but they wrote a cool letter. And like I just got a couple of them. And I'm like, I really want to get back to them. And it's so frustrating because if you imagine, it isn't just like, well, I'm just being lazy. If I really wanted to get back to them, like imagine this for yourself. If the number just keeps growing, at some point you just can't keep up with that many people. There are thousands and thousands and thousands, if not millions of people in the world who, if I met them and hung out with them for a number of hours, I think they're really cool. I want to stay in touch with them. Well, I can't. Like there aren't even going to be that many days in my whole life, much less days of the week and that I can like keep in touch with all these people. So this is sort of a weird apology, but mostly just an explanation of if I've talked to you and we had a cool conversation and it seems like I forgot about you, I probably didn't. In fact, I probably remember you and totally feel bad about the fact that I haven't had time to get in touch with you. And that's true of people I've talked to like dozens and dozens of times and know pretty dang well. And I'm still like, oh, I haven't talked to them. And we haven't talked to them for months and months. And that sucks because they're awesome and we really like them and stuff. And so it's this weird situation that it's only because of the internet and our ability to communicate this way that I could possibly have met enough people and talked to enough people that there's that feeling. But I could literally, if I sat here, I could list 100 people. Oh yeah, that person, they live over there and I wanted to arrange that. Oh, and then this person lives up there and we were going to go hiking with them sometime. And we haven't done a good job of keeping in touch with her and down in Florida. And then there's just, I could literally just list 100 people, no exaggeration, just off the top of my head of like, oh, I really wish I could like stay in contact with them. And it frustrates me and I feel bad about it. Now, that's stupid because it's physically impossible for me to keep up with these things, especially because I don't get paid to keep up with people and I have to like pay stinking rent and stuff. So I'm like doing book deals and doing this and then doing odd jobs. I'm about to head out to the East Coast to take down 2 huge trees to get paid for that. And then I'm coming back here to do a custom build in somebody's van is the plan. And then what's the other thing? And then doing work at a property up north in Arizona. And anyway, a billion things that you don't have any reason to give a crap about. But but it's frustrating to me that there are so many cool people that I know and I care about and they were interesting. And part of the feeling bad about it is I don't want them to think that I just forgot them or that I'm like snubbing them or ghosting them. Well, I sort of am ghosting a bunch of people, but it's not my choice and it's not on purpose and it's not to be mean. Like there were a bunch of people, I could list 6 or 7 people I met just at the last Anarchapulco where we had cool little chats. I was like, oh yeah, I'd like to get in touch with them. And I'll get an email. And the most annoying thing is I'll get an email and then my choices are do a really short kind of pointless response and then feel like I totally shortchanged the person, or wait until I have time to do a decent response and then it'll never happen because I'll never have time to do that for all the people. And I get to some of it, but not all of it. So this is an explanation / apology / guilt tripping myself. Just there's, and lots of people can attest to the fact that, first of all, I suck at remembering names. My brain just throws names in the trash immediately. Every once in a while I'll actually remember a name, but hardly ever. But I'll meet somebody at an event and go, wait, I know you. I don't nearly remember your name. But we talked about this over by the Rock in New Hampshire at PorkFest, and we discussed this thing, and you were saying that this, like I'll remember discussions, I'll remember topics, I'll remember faces, and I won't remember names. And so it's not that I forget everybody. It's that I literally don't have enough hours in a day to catch up with more than a tiny percentage of the people that I want to be in touch with, including people I know pretty dang well and really care about. Like, it includes literally almost everybody I know. Almost everybody I know, even people I know really, really well, I constantly feel bad that I don't have more time to give them and more attention to give them and more time to spend with them. That's just constant, and it's every stinking day. And it's not something I expected back when I was an antisocial hermit. It's like, well, I know a few people, and I can be in touch with them as much as I want, hang out with them as much as I want, because there's 3 or 4 or 5 of them instead of 1,000 of them. So anyway, I guess I don't need to keep babbling on about this. But yeah, if I had a cool discussion with you, I probably didn't forget you, and I'm not trying to snub you, and I'm not trying to ghost you. In fact, I probably remember you, and you're in the Rolodex running through my head of people I think, oh, damn it, I didn't get back to them, and crap, I'm probably not going to be able to. I'll try. I got a letter from them, and I had a discussion from them, and there was just a comment from that person, and I was going to follow up, and that person had an idea of a video I should make, and oh yeah, that person sent me that thing, I was going to respond to that, and it's just freaking constant, and I kind of don't even know what to do about it. But I did want to tell people so that, like, I'll keep feeling bad about it anyway. But I at least wanted a bunch of you to know I'm not trying to be rude, and there's a hell of a lot of you that I totally remember, and I remember our discussions, and I cared about them, and it would be awesome to be in touch with you, and I'm probably going to do a really crappy job of staying in touch with you, because I do that with pretty much everybody at this point, except Amanda, because we're in the same apartment, so we kind of have enough time together, if there is such a thing. But yeah, so I blanket apologize to the zillions of people that I really would like to be able to talk to more and get into all sorts of fun discussions. Whether you're somebody I've known for years and we have awesome discussions, or I just met you once or twice and we had some cool little discussion, I probably remember you specifically and think, damn it, I haven't gotten back to that person either. Consider yourself one of many who's getting neglected by me. But it's not by choice, and it's not on purpose, and I don't know what to do about it, other than just hiding from the whole world, which wouldn't really improve things. So anyway, that's kind of all I needed to say about that. Oh, I will throw this out there, and I tell some people this in particular. This will probably just make it worse. If I told you to ask me something or remind me something or email me about something and you did and I didn't respond, anybody I told to do that, I hereby give you permission to nag me, to remind me and say, you still haven't gotten back to me. Even if you have to do it over and over again, because sometimes that's when I get around to something, is when I get reminded about it enough that I'm like, okay, let me quick deal with this and respond to this person before I get back to failing to keep up with 1,000 other people. So anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest and sort of half apologize for that bozo-ness. But yeehaw, carry on.